Hi everyone, my name is Robert McLoyne and I work at this here Metro Diner. Now, they were kind enough to let me take some pictures and walk around a little more as I work, so I'm going to use that to show you how to run a dish pit efficiently. Okay, let's get started. First off, this is your workplace, the dish pit. This is, as I like to call it, the heart of the restaurant. I say so because the heart pumps blood around the body, which keeps it running. The dishes go all over the restaurant to keep it moving efficiently as well. And much as the blood is oxygenated, those dishes have to be clean. It's our job to do so. Of course, they get dirty first. This is how so. Cooks, prep cooks, and the people who eat the food. The food gets on the plate, everyone makes it dirty. Food gets cooked, dirty. Every time it gets dirty, bussers, like our friend in the background, have to get it back to us. Same thing with us. Bussers, waitresses, and the dish pit themselves get it back to here. That's right here. This is where all the dishes are dropped off by the bussers and waitresses. Dish pit crew often just brings them back directly, generally the same area. Silverware is sorted out in between the three, and any leftover drinks are dumped into the bin on the right. The bin on the left is used for soaking some dishes and scrubbing. Now, that's the first process in this very organized process. But first, don't panic. You may think it's easy, but it's actually a little more difficult than you'd imagine. A lot more effort, and if you're not efficient enough, they can pile up. Again, don't panic. This isn't a reason to panic. If anything, it's more reason to stay calm. Something like this can easily be handled very quickly. And I'm going to show you how right now. First off, scrubbing. Scrubbing the dishes using either a steel wool, which is essentially a group of steel coils bound together, or a green scrubbing pad, which is often used for plates. That way we don't scratch them up constantly. Steel wool is used for heavy pots like that, as well as metal and plastic. Now then, once that is done, we move on to the next step, cleaning them. And the 3-compartment sink is a mandatory required use in each restaurant to do this. It's part of the Serve Safe mandatory requirements. And it's very simple. Sink on the right, used for soap and water, cleans the dishes. Middle sink is used for rinsing them off, very clean water. And the third sink is sanitizer water to sanitize them before we set them up to dry. Very simple, very efficient. Now to get a clean dish, you have to have clean hands. If you touch a clean dish with any dirty hands that you've just been scrubbing with, that dish goes back. So make sure you wash your hands regularly so you can keep them clean and get them back to them and you don't waste your own time. It also helps because we run around doing lots of other minor jobs. Now this is our dish machine. The dish machine is a lifesaver in the dish pit. It does all 3 processes of the 3-compartment sink in one go. After that, all you have to do is check them, and if they are clean, put them up to dry. If they're not, just send them back, re-scrub them, send them back through. Very simple, and it saves a ton of time, about 15 seconds each. Now this is a dish rack. This is how you send them through the machine. As I said, you either scrub them off and give them a quick rinse, place them on the rack, and send them through. You can't put too many on. In general, you can put about the same amount normally, but you don't want to put too many on or else they won't get clean. Once you do, just send it through. Whew. Okay, this is the inside of the machine. Once you get to the inside of the machine, it's very simple. There's some drainage parts at the bottom. This catches any food that may have come off of the plates. Same thing up on the top left over there. Flaps help the water circulate a little more easily, stay in its general area. That way, one bit of water doesn't go any further than it needs to. That is a very important process. This is your soap, detergent, and soaking fluids. There's a timer that activates whenever these are getting low. When you hear it, you gotta check them. And if not, you gotta check them regularly in case it might be busted. There's 3 of them down there and 1 on the left. Once it's empty, just pick it up, carry it outside, replace it. This is part of the machine itself. Really, this is part of changing some of the fluids. Thankfully, we had some mechanical problems that day, so we got to get this picture. Now, this shows both changing out the fluids as well as part of the timer, which is kind of out of view. Now, that timer, as I said earlier, goes off whenever the chemicals are low. You hear it, turn it off, you move on. This is a drying dish check. Basically, once the dishes go through, you have to check to make sure they're clean. If they are, they would put them on the dish rack. And as I said earlier, if you don't, you simply send them back after scrubbing them. And as you can see, she has gloves on. Gloves are clean hands for clean dishes. Easy to remember. Now, you never, ever dry a dish with a cloth. 3 reasons. First off, it takes too long to dry individual dishes. Second, the cloth gets dirty and you'll be rubbing dirt onto the dish no matter how clean you think the cloth is. And third, you have better, more efficient uses of your time and a better way to do this. Now, this is how you do this. Dry rack. You air dry every dish, every single one. First off, it does it on its own time while you do the other work. It's neatly stacked for you to run them up to the line, and it's out of everyone's way so you're not focusing on one bit at a time. It's more efficient, and it gets you on the way. Now, speaking of on the way, it's right outside the dish pit, and like our friend Steven here, you have to run them up to the line as quickly as you can. Once you run them up there, they're clean. A little blurry, that's because he's moving. If you're not fast, dishes will pile up and you'll be left behind. You have to get them down there and get back quickly, making sure you pick other stuff up on the way. Just a little tip there. Never leave the line empty-handed. Now, of course, problems can occur. Here, it's a rather smelly one. Problems make you leave the dish pit. You have to work as quickly as you can, so if you don't know how to do anything, ask for help. You don't have to be afraid about that. It's okay to ask for help. Get it done, get back in the pit. Finally, the dish machine requires maintenance, much like our problems earlier. Maintenance includes cleaning out the machine, picking any dishes that may have fallen in, and doing, checking to make sure it's all right. We also have to remove any food particles that got stuck in there. We also have to change out the water, that way everything is clean going through the first time. Now, the next part is, well, the boring part. If you get good at something, people make you do it outside of work. I am really tired of doing dishes for my parents. Well, everyone, that was how to run a dish pit efficiently. Good luck in your current and/or future jobs.